Previously on Ballz.
We carry on talking rugby now, and we are joined for the second time in a week by SARU President Oregan Hoskins. Oregan, good afternoon. The last time we spoke, you were busy telling us about a potential opening for the Lions, teasing us a little bit before Johnny rudely cut you off and said goodbye. So I don't know if you want to pick up on that or talk about the Community Cup.
Good afternoon, Simon and John.
Hello, Oregan.
Hi. I can't really remember, so please
we'll
forgive me.
It's done. It's in the past.
Simon just wrapped me over the knuckles, Oregan, but it was just great to have you on air. That was the most important thing. Big announcement today, Club Rugby receiving a major boost, Oregan. Another proud SARU initiative.
Yes, we have made the announcement, as you've said today. It is important. For some years now, there has been valid criticism of the system, and that's really a consequence of us, in many respects, going professional. There had to be a casualty, and in this regard, it was Club Rugby. We're obviously pleased that come 2013, there will be the Community Cup, which is going to be in its first season, 2013, starting in February. And as the news release says, will be based on the World Cup format, where 20 teams will participate nationally. The teams are made up of one team, obviously the champion team in each province, 14 provinces, and then South African Rugby using its sort of wild card discretion to invite 6 extra teams that would then compete in this 20-team competition, and it would take place over 5 weeks, culminating in a final due to take place on Easter Monday, which is, as everybody knows, resonates with rugby in South Africa, and which happened for many, many years until fairly recently, when the Easter rugby competition, Easter Champs competition, had been done away with. So this is really an attempt by South African Rugby to reinvigorate club rugby, to pay attention to club rugby, grassroots rugby, and to give the guys an opportunity at that level as well.
Is that the primary difference from the National Club Championships, the format of it? You spoke about a World Cup style format. Is that the major difference?
The important difference is that the Varsity Cup, which has already become a household brand in South African rugby on a Monday night, was exclusively for the universities. And what we're trying to do now is give the open clubs, in inverted commas, or those clubs that are not strictly varsity clubs, the other clubs, in other words, an opportunity to also compete, have a competition, and to play against each other as the top clubs. So we're keeping the Varsity Cup competition separate from this one. This is the other clubs, so to put it. And then once this competition is completed, the team that wins that competition will in fact be given an opportunity to play against the winners of the winning team of the Varsity Cup. So it's all to play for, and it's really something that we're looking forward to. And I think I must commend our CEO Yuri Rue, who's been spearheading this, and Yuri's fairly new appointment at South African Rugby, coming with his background from Stellenbosch University, and really getting the Varsity Cup competition, off the ground, together with a lot of our sponsors' help as well. And now, bringing another brand to the table in this Community Cup competition, which we hope will really get clubs excited and get grassroots rugby people excited about it. It's also going to be televised on SuperSport, and that's really something for club players to look forward to as well.
Now, we know that in the past, traditionally, club rugby has suffered in the form of sponsorship. Oregan, do you expect a lot of the big players out there to come to the party and pump big money into this?
If we look at the Varsity Cup, Steinhoff, for example, I mean, they've been, they've got involved with that, and they saw the opportunity there. We're really appealing, and we're hoping that with the exposure that this gets, and we sincerely believe that there will be a lot of interest in this. Where players who, one of the challenges we have in rugby is that we have a massive drop-off after matric. At least now players can say, even though I don't become a Stormer or a Shark or a Lion or whatever, or a Springbok, there's something else to play for. So players can look forward to being part of a club competition, and obviously that goes with exposure for corporates as well. And we're really hoping that sponsors will come on board, and we do believe they will. That they'll come on board next year and want to align themselves with something that's going to be a great competition for South Africans to look forward to in 2030.
And Mr. Hoskins, apart from...
Hold on a second, Kate. You can't hear you. Okay,
sorry.
go.
And apart from the sponsorship and exposure that you guys are hoping these guys will get, what sort of incentive are you guys giving the winning team, if any, in terms of money, if there is any money that you guys are offering to the winner?
To be honest with you, that one is I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's prize money at this stage. So you've caught me on that one. I don't think so, but I hope that there is an incentive. I might have to check that one up with Yuri. But quite honestly, to answer you right now, I'm not aware of any winning prize for the team that wins that competition. I sincerely hope there is something, that there is an incentive, and maybe it's all aligned with depending on who comes on board as sponsors. I'm sure that'll all be part of a sponsorship package that there is that incentive, like the Varsity Cup for the team that wins. So we all know that there are massive incentives for the varsities, and they get prizes left, right, and centre. We see prizes being given out during the derbies that take place during the Varsity Cup. So I'm sure that the club championships would be done on similar lines. But right now, as we speak, I can't tell you numbers at all for winning the competition.
Many would say this is probably long overdue, considering the talent, the wealth of talent that you find playing for clubs, and I hear a word on the streets that many people would like this to replace the Vodacom Cup as the main feeder for provincial teams.
The Vodacom Cup has been a challenge for us, and we're working closely with our sponsor Vodacom there, who have been absolutely generous and have been helpful in terms of keeping that going. The challenge with the Vodacom Cup, as we all know, is that it's a provincial competition. We're trying hard to give people in the outlying areas in particular an opportunity to play for their province. So we'd have to see how this new club competition goes. And we're certainly open to ideas, given the dynamics of this game. And as I say, this is what happens when you change an amateur sport to a professional sport, and you deal with the consequences 15, 20 years later.
Regan, I would imagine with those rugby players out in the rural areas, in the Platteland, for example, who haven't had this kind of exposure, this tournament is going to be something really special to them, particularly, of particular importance to you at SARU.
The Platteland areas are probably the biggest losers in us going professional, because money's aligned to the cities, to the urban areas. Corporates are in the urban areas as well, and the Plattelands have been probably the biggest losers in this. And this is an opportunity for players, from the Platteland areas once again to be able to put up their hands and say, "I'm actually a Springbok." Look at me. I'm from some farm area where nobody knows the name and doesn't know that we exist on the map. So you're absolutely right. It is an opportunity for the Platteland to be given some recognition. Right now, as we speak, the SARU Club Championships are taking place in Rustenburg. It is, by all accounts, it's a totally successful competition. We're seeing the finals being played tomorrow on television. But for the people that are there, all the officials that are there, all the accounts that I have, is that it's been absolutely successful. There have been massive crowds turning out on a daily basis. So already we can see that the Community Cup is just going to take it a step further and raise the bar.
Well, Regan, we wish you all the best, and I certainly hope it is a success. I mean, we're a rugby-mad country, and the more we can improve our systems and make rugby more accessible and better, kudos, I'd say.
Can I just say this? I mean, the part that I probably take for granted, and I shouldn't, and I should say it, and I think we do take it for granted in South Africa, is that most importantly, perhaps, is the fact that it's a development competition. It gives players who haven't been exposed to the game at higher levels. And from a transformation point of view, it also is a massive imperative for us in South African rugby, because we said that if we get the pyramid right and we get the bottom of the pyramid, the substantial part right, the grassroots part, the mass participation program correct, then the top takes part of itself, and that's what the Minister of Sport has been saying ever since he's come into office. So we also see this as an opportunity for players who will not get the exposure if the present system is the way it is. He has an opportunity for players of color to come into their own, to be given the exposure, to be given the opportunity to compete at the highest level and say, I'm as good as anybody else, look at me as well, I'm the best in my position.
Yeah.
Well, Regan, thank you so much for always being available to chat to us on such short notice on Ballz Video Radio. We know you're a busy man, but as always, we appreciate your time. Before I let you go, I must ask you one question. How is poor Heineke Meyer holding up? Shame, the poor guy. I feel very sorry for him.
Yeah, it is very difficult at the moment. It's sad that when you're in that position and you lose games, you will find that everybody will put the boot in. And that's just the nature of the job. It's just fortunate that Heineke, and this is what we mustn't forget, Heineke is the only coach in South Africa that has won Super Rugby competitions, and I think that he's also had the opportunity to be at the bottom of the table when he coached the Bulls. So he has been there, and he's tough. He's mentally tough. I think he understands that when you make mistakes, you acknowledge them. But yeah, I mean, he's really going through a tough time at the moment, and all I can say is that now's the time to stand behind your coach, our coach.
Yeah, indeed, I couldn't agree with you more.
Regan, thanks very much. Sorry, President Regan Hoskins on the line. Where are you today?
I'm in my home town.
Oh, okay.
Great.
All right. No, don't give away your location.
Lovely, Regan. Regan, thanks a million once again. Lovely to chat to you.
Thank you very much, Regan.
Pleasure.
Have a good
Thanks,
afternoon.
John.
Take care, bye, Regan.
Okay, bye-bye, Regan. Here we go. Sorry, President Regan Hoskins chatting very briefly about Heineke Meyer there, but mainly about the unveiling of the Community Cup, which kicks off on Saturday the 16th of February next year, and it'll be 20 of the country's top open clubs competing in a format that's identical to that of the Rugby World Cup. So we'll keep our eyes open for that, and obviously we'll be following that when it does kick off.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.